So that there are a list of utterances which we can say in any language. So Shema, Shema Israel. And there's a list of utterances which have to be said in Hebrew, in Lashon HaKodesh. The Mishnah doesn't seem to be very interested in sayings that can be said in any language, but it's going to focus on sayings that need to be said in Hebrew. And it's going to start actually with a declaration of the first fruits. Mikra habikurim keitzad. The declaration, the reading, Mikra literally means reading. And of course, we're going to read verses from the Torah. This is actually the only tefillah which is really mandated and specified in the Torah. Really interesting and not surprising, perhaps, that it is the centerpiece of the Haggadah, of the drush in the Haggadah. So Mikra HaBikurim, the reading, the declaration of the Bikurim, Keitzad, how does it work? So now we're going to quote verses from Torah. Ve'anita ve'amarta, you shall answer it. At least I've translated here as answer. I mean, the word not can mean to sing, it can mean to respond, but let's just stick with the word answer now, which is at least familiar from modern Hebrew. Ve'anita, and we'll see that this choice of words is very important. Ve'anita ve'amarta lifnei Hashem Elohecha, you shall answer and say before the Lord your God. And then here's the whole declaration. Arami oved avi, my father was a wandering Aramean and he went down to Egypt and so on. So we know that works, that uses the word answer. And now, ulhalan hu omer, ve'anu haleviim ve'amru el kol ish Yisrael kol ram. And we've got another declaration which has the word answer as well. The Leviim shall answer and say, ve'anu haleviim. The Leviim shall answer and say, and the Mishnah says, ma anya amura lahala bilshon hakodesh, afkan bilshon hakodesh. Just as the answer made over there must be in the holy tongue, so this has to be in the holy tongue too. So this expression answering seems to demand speaking in Hebrew. And I just brought the verses on the source sheet from Devarim ve'anita ve'amarta. And in terms of the Leviim, we need to see this. These are the curses. Ve'elu yamdu al haklal bahar eval. This is from the parsha of Ki Tavo. The people go into the land. Half the tribe stand on Mount Eval, and half the tribe stand on Mount Gerizim. Mount Gerizim is still holy to Samaritans. And the Torah goes on to say, Ve'anu haleviim ve'amru el kol ish Yisrael kol ram. So the Leviim answer, and they say to all the men of Israel with a loud voice. So there's something about answering. And the Mishnah then picks this up in the next item on the list, which is chalitza. The Mishnah says, chalitza keitzad. How does chalitza work? And we'll see the psukim about chalitza have got the same verb, the same word to answer. Ve'anata ve'amra, she shall answer and say. Now we're in Devarim 25:9. Ve'anata ve'amra, kacha, she takes off his shoe, she spits in his face, and then she says, Ve'anata ve'amra, she answers and says, Kacha ya'aseh le'ish asher lo yivneh et beit achiv. Thus it shall be done to that man that will not build up his brother's house. Ulahalan. And so we use the expression answer in terms of chalitza, which is one of the list of things that has to be said in Hebrew. Ulahalan hu omer, and over there it says, and we're going to quote the same verse, ve'amnu haleviim ve'amru el kol ish Yisrael kol ram. The Levites will answer and say to all the people of Israel in a loud voice. And the Mishnah concludes, Ma ani amura lahalan bilshon hakodesh, afkan bilshon hakodesh. Just as the answer made elsewhere has to be in the holy tongue. So here it is in the holy tongue. So we've got, if you like, just like Brighton Rock, just like that candy that has something written in the middle of it that runs right the way through. Running right the way through this list of utterances is the expression or the verb, the root ein nun hey, to answer or to sing or to respond. But I think you might be asking now, well, okay, we can see this word to respond running right the way through these utterances, the recitation of the first fruits and the declaration of the Levi'im and the declaration over Chalitza. But what has this got to do with speaking Hebrew? How do we know from the use of this language, ana or anta or anita, how do we know it's got anything to do with speaking Hebrew? And to do that, we need to go back to the Gemara. Let's have a look in the Gemara in Sotah. And the Gemara asks, Ulevi'im gufehu minalan. And where the Levi'im, where do they come from? Because we've compared these two utterances to the utterances of the Levi'im, but we haven't proven that the Levi'im speak Hebrew. Now, maybe you say, well, okay, they're Levi'im, they have to speak Hebrew. That might be one response, but that's not the response that the Gemara is going to bring. Atia kol mi Moshe. It comes from the word kol, the word voice here. And the word voice with Moshe, let's go back and look at what the Levi'im say. The Levi'im say, here's the verse for the Levi'im. Ve'anu ha-Levi'im, they're using the word anu, they answer. The Levi'im shall answer. Ve'amru al kol ish Yisrael, and they say to all the people of Israel, kol ram, loud voice. It's in Kitavor. They announce the blessings and the curses in a loud voice. So answering seems to be associated with kol, with the word kol. And the Gemara is going to point out that this word kol, this word voice, is a word that we've seen before. If we go back to the mountain, to the giving of the Torah, K'tiv Hacha, it is written over there, back in Shemot, when the Torah is given. Sorry, K'tiv Hacha, it's written here, Kol Ram, loud voice, U'K'tiv Hatam, and it's written over there in the giving of the Torah. Moshe Yedaber Veha Elohim Ya'anenu V'Kol. Moshe spoke and God answered him with a voice. We've got the word answer and we've got the word voice. Afkan malahalan bilshon hakodesh, just as over there in the holy tongue. I suppose we're assuming that God speaks in the holy tongue. Bilshon kodesh. What other tongue could he speak? Afkan bilshon hakodesh. So here in the holy tongue. God speaks these utterances in Hebrew, and so we have to utter them in Hebrew too when we make them from day to day. Sorry, I've just stopped sharing. Let me just restart sharing. But I wanted to stop recording actually. Let me just stop recording.